Here's something we've talked about quite a bit in the last year or so is the dramatic increase in online scams and Ponzi schemes. This is an investor alert from the Securities and Exchange Commission, and you probably saw a video we did earlier about a multi-billion-dollar complaint against a cryptocurrency operator. And again, it's innocent until proven guilty. But on December 14th, a week or so ago, the SEC has experienced a significant uptake in tips, complaints, and referrals involving investment scams. We see this all the time. We've seen this for decades, but the number is dramatically higher. And fraudsters are capitalizing on the current environment, the lockdowns and all the other things that are going on in society, to create these investment scams. And Ponzi schemes are one of the most common examples of that. And the reason why it's more prevalent now is people are looking for additional sources of income. So by offering a high investment return, 20% a month, 15% a month, the scammers can lure and induce people to give them money that are improperly being invested or just kept. Also, watch out for unlicensed or unregistered sellers. Look, if you're selling securities or certain types of investments, you're supposed to have a particular type of license. A securities license, registered broker license, and most of these schemes have people that aren't registered or licensed at all, and you should verify that. If the returns you're receiving are consistent, if they're to the penny, 10% a month, that's probably a red flag because most investments don't operate that consistently. And we'll put a little video here, some backup on this from one of our contributors, Barry Minko, who, as you know, is convicted of several frauds in his history, but he's got a unique insight onto this type of consistent returns and investment frauds. Some examples of those type of frauds that he just talked about are fake CDs, where you're getting a high interest rate with no penalties, stocks that have to do with certain health claims, and this is the big one, what we call affinity fraud, where if somebody is looking to sell a security or an investment in a particular community, a church, a cultural area, a geographic area, people what they call with common ties based on an ethnic group, nationality, religious group. A lot of times it's church. Barry Minko's fraud that he was convicted for had to do with a church claim. It's very, very common, and the SEC says they routinely bring charges against perpetrators of affinity fraud, schemes that target U.S. military members, immigrants, seniors, all types of groups, because once you get into that group, the referrals will spread within that group. The fraudster might even claim that they're part of the group, not even an outsider, but sometimes they'll enlist group members to spread the word. So be aware if somebody's in a group that you're a member of trying to promote a security or trying to promote an investment, make sure that you're verifying the claims they're making, where the money's going, and who's behind it, making sure they all have legitimate backgrounds. But this is such an urgent new piece of information from the SEC that they put out an investor alert because of the fact that the spike in new claims is exponential. And we've seen that here. The number of calls and inquiries we get has gone through the roof. We're 30, 40 a day that are victims of some online fraud. And they talked about, it was either in this article or another, what the median is. They're seeing people losing tens of thousands of dollars in some of these scams, where that's a relatively small loss. In the past, people were losing $500 or $600 or $800. Now people are losing tens of thousands. So be aware. Don't put your hard-earned money into something that has a risk that's pure speculation, that you don't know who is behind it, and you don't know where the money's going and if you're ever going to get it back.